Hello, my name is Samantha, and tonight my mom and I are watching season 4, episode 4 of Roswell, New Mexico. We start each of our reaction videos with a discussion portion, but if you want to skip right ahead to the reaction, it starts at this timestamp here. So, Mom, this is a very exciting season. There's a lot going on, so let's dive into our discussion. So, number one, small question, but is Dallas still a preacher? Because he lives in Roswell now, and we just, like, that doesn't mean that he's not still working at a church, but we just haven't seen him do that.
I don't know that he has a church there that he is.
And I'm wondering if that's
Assigned
maybe,
to.
because I feel like he is feeling like, I mean, he gets along well with everyone, but I also feel like he feels like he is not fully part of the group yet. So if he's also kind of feeling like that he's also without, like, if he's not with a church right now, that might also be like just part of him not feeling like he belongs. I'm interested to see if they address it.
It really is.
Yeah. So I had been pretty strongly assuming that it was Jones who back in 47 or 48 had opened the security, or the, I keep calling it security, the safety deposit boxes that were robbed. But it turns out it was Patricia. Not. I was surprised, but turns out it was Patricia. But so here's my questions. If it wasn't Jones that opened those boxes, how could he have told this new triad what they needed to collect? Because obviously he did not tell them that, because he wouldn't have known. So how did they find out?
How is Patricia involved?
Well, because I had also been assuming that it was things that, like, somehow, like, Nora and Theo, while he was alive, created, like, while they were at Caulfield. But then I was like, no, that doesn't really make sense, even though they sort of made the Lockhart machine. But I'm thinking now that it was material that they had, like, Nora and Louise would have, like, left somewhere, that they told Patricia, go to this place, gather what we hid, and hide it somewhere that's more safe. Or, like, just, like, because, I mean, the barn got blown up, but, like, we know they had some other location.
Well,
so, but, like, why would it not necessarily be safe in those places?
Patricia's missing.
Patricia is Maria's grandmother, who is passed away.
Then.
The mother, though, is missing, which I feel like is suspicious, even though it's happened before. And I just the timing, and with the family connection,
get information from her
that maybe they, like, kidnapped Maria's mother.
Yes.
Related question. My understanding, and I've never had a safety deposit box, is that is not a free service. There's a fee associated with that. So if Patricia opened these boxes in whenever she did that, the 60s, whenever, shouldn't Maria be getting, like, an annual bill for those boxes? Because she had no idea. But that's not something that's just...
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be Maria. It could be that...
Well, but if her mother... because her mother is in, like, a care facility, you'd think it would go to Maria. Right. But, I mean, that's a little nitpicky, but still. We had sort of guessed or assumed that the video that Kira, if I'm remembering her name correctly, shows to Kyle and Isabel at Anatsa of the bank robbery was probably of the second robbery, where we saw Bonnie and Clyde running out and then they had the car chase. But if that is the video where they supposedly see who we suppose is Jones, then it does not make sense that Clyde, when running into who he thinks is Jones, would act like he had not just seen him days previously. And it would not make sense for Jones to say, I'm looking forward to meeting Bonnie, if he just did a bank heist with her. So then it must have been the other one. Now let's talk about Tesca and Eduardo. So if we are correct in thinking that they had, or Teska was involved in taking Jones, returning him, and then taking him again. This may not be the first time Eduardo has been mind warped by her. But if it seems that Eduardo has been mind warped twice, maybe it's been even more than that. And if they have taken him again, what is the plan for him this time? I don't know why they would need him for the bank robbery, but what are they planning on using Jones for now? And after whatever they do with him, do they try and return him again, having not realized that Kyle has caught on?
Right.
And if that's the case, if he just shows up again, like if Kyle is like, guys, get over here, over like the next day, but he's back, something is clearly going on.
Right.
And like, are they going to try it again, like not realizing they've been caught? Like, I don't know, but that's interesting. I think that was all the points for discussion. Let's find Alex. Is that her? Well, how did she?
She's on the ground. Call for help.
Yeah, you go. I'll call 911.
Mom, are you okay? What happened? You must meet me here.
What?
You'll always have the power to find me.
But she doesn't have her powers. What is happening?
You must go there.
Is she just pointing at her hand, or?
Mom! Mom! No! No!
That's really sad.
Get this message. Call me when you can.
It's Alex.
She's gonna need you, Alex.
Kyle told me that Jones is missing again.
Jones is still dead.
Jones is missing again? Jones is missing again.
She said that.
Why did she say that?
I know right now you feel like your heart's been ripped out of your chest. But you have all of us. And your visions.
Aw, Liz.
Let's just take a minute.
There's a symbol. Is that what makes Zombie Jones? Like, what are they doing? Is this what Teska did before with the Zombie Jones thing? Like, or is this supposed to bring him, like, I don't believe that he's, like, gonna be actually fully back to life. But I would believe that they can, like, temporarily zombie him.
Oh. I'm still in the group text. Right. You want to sit?
Which group text is she a part of? Not the one they talk about alien stuff. And why? I feel like, is 6 months early to be in a group text with all of her family and friends? Is that just me, or is that a little?
I don't think she should.
And suddenly there's a group text. Okay, so I'm glad it exists.
And talk to me. I can tell that there's something that you're trying to get out. Just take a leap of faith.
So maybe it's because of what has just happened, but I am a little surprised that she is just acting like her girlfriend again. Like, without talking about it first. Like, even given current circumstances, it's not like they left things
She
of
walked
like
away as well. So.
They both did. So and it's not like Isabel reached out to her directly. It's like
I have to be with my family right now. I have some
That's a
calls
choice.
after turning away. The Albuquerque Journal is still pressuring me at the reporter position.
That's the right move for your career.
it seems like Isabel has made her choice.
Hand me your phone.
How is he from Alex if his phone is broken.
Alright, here we go.
You're just gonna do that to the whole thing? Interesting, okay.
What just happened?
Ronnie and I felt like that once. Then we met someone who showed us how to be bigger than ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Jones.
You knew him?
No, well.
So they don't know who Michael really is. But
They're trusting him.
no, but so they grew up on the home planet. They got to the ages they are now. When do they think Michael arrived on Earth? That he also would have had experience with Jones, which again was 70 plus Earth years ago. I don't understand.
What's wrong with?
When I ruined that skin sample, I killed our only lead.
I thought it was very strange that she would use all of the samples she had and just, like, you take off a little piece and then you test it. That seems like common science. And I'm not sure why she didn't do that.
Oh. Something's buried here.
Is it Alex?
Oh.
I got this.
Do you?
Yesterday.
What was yesterday? You said that.
He's all zen today. Okay. So far, so good. Good. Okay. You found something very big. Is that the stolen gas truck? Why would they even need to hide it? Also, hold on. He lifted an entire freaking gas truck out of the ground, but could not hold that, like, utility vehicle? Like,
Yeah, I mean, he...
Maxwell.
No, he...
Well, you're okay. You did it. You're okay.
You were my turquoise.
Oh.
You focused me.
Were you on my ship?
You were.
So where have you been all this time?
Stacy.
I'm gonna let him explain.
To were called upon.
By Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. My understanding of what they're saying is that when Jones stowed away on the ship, he also brought this other triad with him for fun. And then the ship crashed. And so then Jones got himself out of there and these other three pods and what, stowed them away in Mexico somewhere? For fun?
No, not for fun. For...
Well, I get it's a backup plan, but like...
Backup plan. Which every, evil dictator has.
But they still don't realize who Michael is? Would anyone have even known that Jones had a son? Because they're not acting like they know who he is, so I'm assuming they don't.
I don't think so.
Like, it might not have been known, but apparently they know about at least the Max clone, if not all the other clones.
Yeah, but all the other
Why
clones
were
are
these
dead.
three, of all of his followers, why were these three the triad that Jones chose to bring with him when he stowed away on this
This is
rebel ship?
Plan, B or C.
I don't get it.
To use in an emergency if he were
But
to
these
die.
three, are these the best three for that scenario?
Well, yeah,
Like, this doesn't make sense.
You've been to this place, man. I haven't.
But you're not asking about Oasis. You're asking about Jones.
I don't care about Jones. Because Jones is dead, right?
If they don't know who he is, how does he know that? How did they think that Michael knows that Jones is dead? When do they think that Jones died?
because Jones summoned them. to existence when he died.
So they know that Jones was alive 6 months ago. They know that he's dead now because they have his body. Which, what did they do with the body, by the way? He didn't wake up. We didn't see him wake up. So if Michael knows that Jones is dead, like, how did they think that Jones died? He has a gunshot wound.
If so, then he won't mind me searching him. See if there's any secrets up his sleeve.
Okay. Sweetheart, you might have just given yourself away, okay? That's all.
The visionary? He's my father.
Okay.
And I'm
All right.
just like him. So will you please tell me what my role is in all this?
That was a choice, Michael. That was a choice. That was a mistake?
Did Max say he was... why did he identify himself? Not Matt.
Michael.
Why did Michael?
Well, I think because he wanted to hide the ring and he made a choice and now the ring is broken. Like, he melted it.
Well, and he can't piss him off anymore because he needs a ride back from wherever they are.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're like followers of Michael Guerin now. Like, as the son of their leader. He made a choice. Good little spy.
Somewhere.
A person? Eduardo? Why are there...
Michael.
Oh, hey. Why did they take your pants?
Why are your eyes blue? I don't know. I can escape on my own.
Okay.
Don't give up.
Go get your eyes checked out, man.
You gotta release this truck back.
What are you doing in my rig?
Owner.
The rig that has been entirely missing for a week?
Oh, and she has been...
Does she have blue eyes,
amnesia
maybe?
for a week.
Yeah. But where does the company think the truck has been?
You're in love.
It's horrible, Cameron. And instead of cherishing my beautiful girlfriend, I just told her to move halfway across the state.
Is it Kyle? Was someone...
What are you doing
Anatsa.
here?
Her grand gesture?
There is a cave that is 1.5 miles away from here. And
Oh
I know
my God.
it sounds creepy, but I need you to come with me because it's going to help me explain who I really am. This roller coaster that we're on is way more than I can handle.
That's fair. That's honest.
That sounds better.
And
than what,
I mean,
what happened at the other place.
what's happening now is complicated. What Isabel was going to tell her would only have made it more complicated. And so
She was not ready for it.
No. And honestly, most people would not be.
Yeah.
Honestly, realistically, most people would be like, can't do it. Isabel has deeper feelings for Anatsa than I thought she did, though. If she ends up with Kyle, it's gonna take some time. I liked that Isabel and Anatsa have had this second conversation, though. I feel like it needed to have
makes
more.
It understandable,
And yes,
you know, that,
where it wasn't just left it where it was last episode.
yeah, or even last scene.
Yes, definitely. And it made me want to have Isabel tell her, but it's completely fair that Anatsa
Can't handle it. It just
and that's completely fair. And that's not about how she feels about Isabel. That's like there are things you want for yourself and things you don't want for yourself, and that's just how it worked out.
And it's very insightful for Anatsa to know.
Yes, that's and Anatsa has always been very mature and honest and straightforward. I feel like they did treat this respectfully.
Your eyes look
is his eyes brown?
Is it possible that they're brown when he's being controlled? Because I was going to ask, is it possible that, like, because their eyes have changed, Teska can, like, see through...
Blue is the...
Well, blue is, like...
Blue is
I know, but I know, but I'm saying that it reverts back when he's being controlled.
Well,
That's my theory.
What about the girl
she was not currently being controlled.
But they were blue.
Correct. Because she was touched by the alien. She was changed by the alien. But she's not currently being used by the alien. That's my theory for why his eyes are brown. Before we just saw that, I was going to say maybe because the eyes are affected, Teska can, like, see through their eyes. Like, she could see what they're looking at. But maybe that is or is not the case. But
when they're blue or when they're
brown, regular
color.
Let's see what he says.
And since when do you have an alien tattoo?
Eduardo.
That's because I'm not Eduardo.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So she's then currently possessing him?
Yes.
Okay. Why? Why now? Why would Teska, at this moment in time, say, oh, Eduardo needs to be possessed right now? Why would she also, I mean, assuming it's Teska, reveal herself? Like, I guess, like, oh, he's been caught, but, like, I wouldn't necessarily just give myself away. Just admit it.
It's hard to lose a mother. She wasn't actually my mother. Sounds like she really was. In all the ways that matter.
Oh, Lizzie.
I think life is like water. It takes many forms. Liquid, gas, ice cubes.
Dust?
But at its essence, it always remains the same.
Wow. Hey. Kay. Wow. Oh, Bonnie. I'm so sorry, but I have a boyfriend. And I'm kind of completely in love with him.
Well, he's a lucky guy.
She's telling me what it's for?
I'm told it's to take us home.
All right, buddy. Isn't that a little big for you? You don't just... Come on, man. Whoa. That's never happened to any of them before. Not really.
All right, Mom. Why are you pointing me towards your wedding?
Yeah, who is Maria's father? Is this where Cameron was? Oh, honey.
Cam, you shot?
Eduardo, he wasn't himself.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. We gotta get you to New York.
No, there isn't time. You gotta heal me. I can't let him get away.
No. This is not right. No. That's, I don't know if that's Cameron. But why? She's trying to make him use his powers. I don't know why, but this is not, no.
Wait, Max.
Max,
You can do it.
Okay. That seemed to take a lot out of him. And I feel like it shouldn't have. What is happening? I don't know what's going on with Max. I don't know what that was. It wasn't. No. Okay. All right, Kyle. Is Alex for some reason in Mexico? Are you going to find him? So it's the name of a house. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm right.
If all her cells can do this.
I need to call Max.
Then what does this mean? Max? Max. God damn it!
what the hell
power?
That's not Jenna. Who's in there? Is that Bonnie?
How did Bliss sever the connection anyway?
God
She
damn.
must be pretty damn good to defeat a god.
Is that Jones?
She is.
Is that supposed to be Tesca? What the hell is going on?
Two places at once.
Hey, Cam. I know this is gonna sound a little creepy, but I tracked your location on Snapchat. I've had a hell of a night, and
And again with no pants.
Cam,
No. Damn it.
I'm not.
All right.
Call me Tesca.
Okay, so who is Tesca? I don't. Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Paramount.
I don't know anything. But it's not Tesca. And I don't think it's Jones. I think it's someone else. I don't know what they did to Jones with that whole blood thing. So maybe it's Jones, but I don't think it is. We've never seen a shapeshifter before. And that's clearly what that person is. It's also possible that that is the real Tesca, and the person who we think looks like Tesca, who's actually in a pod, is someone else. Why is the pod in a house?
And there was a struggle.
Yeah, which is curious. And then a room with one pod in it.
Well,
Like, where are the other
maybe
two
one
pods?
pod.
Well, we saw one pod.
Yeah.
But I also kind of doubt that Jones bought a house and then just put the pods in one of the rooms 70 years ago. And whatever was the cause or result of that struggle, the pod is still there by itself unprotected. And there's no one guarding the house because, like, Kyle was making noise. He was on the phone. If there was someone guarding the pod, they would have come in. They have not. I mean, maybe they will, but they have not. So they're not guarding it that closely. So we don't know where Eduardo actually is.
Yeah. Well, although he was in the
He
barn.
was in the barn. Unless that was also the shape-shifting alien. Pretending
he
to be
had blue
Eduardo.
eyes.
Well, but maybe the alien can make their eyes blue. Like maybe
Well,
it was
yeah, but
Eduardo,
then
maybe
the
it wasn't.
Cameron had blue eyes.
I know that, but I'm saying maybe the alien faked the blue eyes for some reason. I went into this really thinking we were going to get some answers starting in this episode, and we are just so many more questions. I am curious why Tesca, or whoever that is, needed Max to heal them. Like, what transfer of energy or what? Why did they think that that was necessary? And so, like, what was the blood for? How long are they expecting to keep? Are they they're keeping Jones for good now? They're not going to plan on returning? I mean, people know about it now, or they know that people know about it now, but what are they just going to have him lying out there all day?
Getting sunburned.
Also, I was just going to say that, do dead bodies not get sunburned? I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
He looks the same. He's been out there all day. In the open desert. But that's a small
his
issue.
Body hasn't deteriorated at all in 6 months.
Now, I believe that Deep Sky would have a way of storing the body that it would not decompose.
Okay.
But, yeah, like he seems still dead. So this explains more of why Tesca was separate from Bonnie and Clyde, because it's not really Tesca, or it is the actual Tesca, and whoever the other woman's name is that we don't know yet has been in the pod in Mexico the whole time. So Bonnie and Clyde have been, presumably, if fooled the whole time. It's possible, I feel that Bonnie is being genuine. It's possible that this is all a ruse, but I feel like she's genuine.
Well,
because
said
she's
that
been more
Clyde
casual,
said,
even
you know,
just
like,
with Clyde.
oh,
It's not
he's
just
been-
for Michael that she's
he's
acting
been
like
okay,
this.
and then other times he's not.
Which we have not really seen. Like, he has some anger, and he obviously is more ideological, but again, how did these three get put together? And we, like, assuming that the real Tesca we don't actually know because she's in a pod, maybe she does fit in better with Bonnie and Clyde, but and do Bonnie and Clyde know that Tesca's not Tesca, or real whatever her name? Like, I don't know what to call her now since we're not sure who really is Tesca.
She said, "Call me Tesca."
So I guess that's okay. So that's the whoever this alien is. Then, well, no, because that's the name that the woman in the pod goes by. She goes by. That's what Bonnie and Clyde. Unless they know that it's like this other person, which I don't think so. Because obviously the woman in the pod, that's her regular form. That's what she really looks like. So whoever this other alien is doesn't naturally look like that. Do you follow what I'm saying? Mysteries upon mysteries. And just a voicemail for Alex. I wish there was more than that. And I get that Michael's phone was crushed. But has no one else called Alex? I mean, yeah, they would know. Okay, we know Michael called him, so we don't necessarily have to follow up. But hey, Michael's busy right now. I feel like someone else could have called him.
Someone from Deep Sky, but...
No, but any of them could have called him. Even if they knew that Michael had called him or left a voicemail.
Well, unless
Michael is currently not able to take calls. Yeah. But like with what's going on with Maria, you'd think if Alex had not been kidnapped, he would have come home to be with Maria. He would have left his work project and come home. So is someone going to assume that something is wrong because they're going to assume that he got Michael's voicemail and has still not shown up for some reason? I'm curious about the fact that Kyle's family is from this town in Mexico and on what connections there might be there. Because we know the family has been involved with alien things for a long time. Is it just a coincidence then that happens to be the one town in all of Mexico that Jones chose to leave the other three pods? Like, that seems like a big coincidence if it is one.
Is it the same town that...
Yeah, that's where Allie was. Yeah, okay. Which is also... There's obviously things going on in this town. How Jones would have known that when he crash landed in 47.
Investigating the unknown,
Well, yeah, but also, what is the status of their daughter? Is she still sick, or was she healed by whatever they found?
Yeah, is she in a pod, or...
Well, or she's fine now because they found something with healing properties. Because she kind of said, like, when our daughter was sick. Or, like, maybe she meant, like, when it was at its worst. So, like, is the daughter okay now? But, yeah, if the daughter was fine, why wouldn't Allie have then come home?
Right.
I mean, maybe, we don't know what she has found there, but... I want her to show up in Roswell, though. I don't want Kyle to just happen to run into her in Mexico, and then that's all we see her. Because, like, not even story or character, I just want to have Shiri Appleby be in Roswell. Just because she was the original Liz, I want her to, like, be at the Crashdown and all that fun stuff. Maybe Kyle brings her back? Like, I don't... He doesn't know who she is.
Or any connection.
She knows Liz, but that doesn't mean that she knows any... Well, maybe she knows about... Maybe she's heard stories about the Valenti family. I have no idea.
Especially with whatever place he's at.
Yeah, which he had not heard of. He didn't know what it was. He assumed it was a person. So it's not like that's the Valenti family home. It's not like he has relatives. It's not like a uncle's house or something. Because he would have probably... known that. I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't have known that if the family hasn't been in Mexico in It was his grandparents, I guess, who came to New Mexico from Mexico, I think is the story. Either way, he wouldn't necessarily know that, but so maybe it is a Valenti family home. I that would be just piling on the coincidences here, but let's talk about Dallas for a second. He had a memory flash while trying to push himself with his powers. Do you think he's able to find that necklace? I mean, maybe it's not on Earth at all. No, it's not. It can't have been. No, that was not a memory from Earth because he sounded like a child. He's something like, Dad, I found your necklace, or you dropped your necklace, or something like that.
Right.
And he would not have interacted with his father on Earth. So it must have been a home planet memory. But none of them, I don't think, have had that direct of a memory flash before, which is curious because they've obviously had their powers longer, and like he was definitely pushing himself. I don't know why he was doing that. But I know, but like, I mean, that necklace has to be part of something, right? Because one, not only has he had this memory flash, but it showed a specific object. It's not just that's not just something we're not going to see again. But where could it be? And what would it do? And so if Nora made that crystal tray thing that they're trying to use to
get back to the planet,
yeah,
does that then build a craft?
I think it probably it's like I think it either like calls for a ship to come, or it's like, hey, we're here, come get us. Like it's a location. Like I don't know. It would send some sort of signal. But would that have been something that Nora made on the home planet, or made since like in 47 or 48, well, their year while they were on the farm? But if that's the case, why would she have made that? I mean, I guess she would want a possibility of how to get home, but at that point, the home is being genocided. So I don't.
And on fire.
Yeah, like she left. She doesn't want to go back. So why would she at that point make something that could go back? But if she made it before, just like, you know, you don't want to be completely lost in space. So and they then brought it with them. I mean, she purposefully, but here's the thing. She purposefully,
you know,
if she was working,
their place a better home.
That was their goal. That's why they formed the resistance in the first place. But they chose to leave. Like, what was their intention? Like, give us a break for a few years and we'll be back? Like, what? Or it was more than just we're escaping. It was like, we're going to go try and get something that could help us, maybe? But then that's like a mission you send someone on. That's not something like you bring your kids with you.
Yeah, you don't.
So I don't think that's it. Plus, that many people. Because, like, there's all the people. Well, there's however many were killed the first night. And then there's however many were in Caulfield the whole time. Plus these extras that were apparently in Mexico we didn't know about. And then whoever Tesca is. Where did she come from? How long has she been here? I don't think it's Jones, though. I don't think it's Jones. I think it's someone else. Okay, so question. Why not just be 4 people from the beginning? Like, yeah, there's the whole triad thing, but like, why not have their triad plus whoever this person is? Just to fool us? Like, who is this person who was obviously probably the most powerful? Okay, but then there's girl we don't know in the pod.
Correct.
Who Bonnie and Clyde know as Tesca, because they call this 4th person Tesca, thinking that's her.
I don't think they think that Tesca is back in a pod because she covered and dribbled it all over. I think Tesca is Tesca, and she's a shapeshifter.
So who is in the pod? And why does she look exactly like Tesca? So which one is actually called Tesca? And I would, based on the fact that they can shapeshift, I'm assuming that they are more powerful than Bonnie and Clyde are. And again, we've been talking this whole time about like how arbitrary triads really are, what that really means. Why would you have three of completely different abilities, completely different interests in the cause, loyalties to the cause, loyalty to Jones? How did they get paired up?
It's how did they get? Yeah, you asked that from the beginning.
Yeah. What does the shapeshifter want?
Now, what does she want?
Well, has it changed? I mean, I guess ultimately they want to use that crystal tray thing. I would think they would want to go home.
With Jones.
Probably. I don't know what you do with a dead body, but I'm sure. I mean, if they. He doesn't need to make public appearances all the time as the dictator. He can just be Zombie Jones as needed, I guess. But then really the shapeshifter is in charge, which maybe they are fine with. And as long as Bonnie and Clyde would be willing to go along with the lie. But if they want to go home and if they want to bring Jones, or even if they don't need Max, Michael, Isabel, and Dallas to go with them. No. So maybe that's not going to be a thing. But if they're just trying to go home, let them go home. Let them take Jones. Like, that's bad for the people on the home planet, but I've said that before.
Max? So there's something going on with that. Why lure him?
Why reveal themselves? Like, what, to scare him into what? Like, what do they want? What is the shapeshifter expect Max to do? Like, would they try and control him so that they take him back to the home planet and have him mind control, pretend to be Jones? Like, does it have to be Jones? Like, pick a new leader. Plus, it's been 70 plus Earth years. And again, I don't know how that compares to home planet years, but is this still going on? Without Jones, this is still going on? They honestly, like, Bonnie and Clyde talk about, like, how it was for them growing up. It's been a long time. You don't know if it's still like that. It might be completely different now. Like, they realize how much time has passed. They know what year it is. And, well, I mean, how... They have no way of knowing what Earth year they landed in.
Yeah, we have no idea how.
Because presumably they've been in the pods since 47. They don't know when the, like... Even if they were awake during the crash and then Jones brought them all to Mexico, put them in pods, like, I guess you could figure out, like, oh, you just happen to see in the 3 days it takes you to get to Mexico. Like, how, I don't know how far over the border this town is. I haven't looked. Why would Jones choose that specific town? Like, is there a reason? Why have them so far away? Because it's over 100 miles at least. There are so many more questions. I still really like it. I'm still really interested. I think I like this villain more than I liked Jones. I really like Jones. I'll be honest.
I mean,
I think I'm in.
Just too weird.
I think I'm in the minority in that opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Jones.
Well, there's something going to happen with Maria and.
Oh yeah, the thing she's trying to figure. Yeah.
So.
Because maybe it's something to do with who Maria's father is. Because like we didn't see his face in the wedding picture, so maybe they just. I don't know. Like he's never been mentioned before. It can't just be, though, that this other triad and whoever this shapeshifter is, that they just want to go home. Because that really has nothing... Because other than them needing the other crystal, why not just let them go? Like, let them take Jones. Like, so it can't be that. They have to want something other than just the crystal to go home. But I have no idea what else they would be, what they would want. Like, unless there's something else that I'm sure there's a lot that we don't know about, like Max, Michael, Isabel, and even Dallas. we know that Max is a clone of Jones. We know that Michael was Jones's son. Like those are big pieces of information. And other than maybe wanting them for that reason, they don't need them, I don't think. Like they can go home without that. So I don't know what else they want. It makes sense that they want to go home. Well, I guess it comes back to what Jones's plan was originally. Why the dictator would stow away on the rebel ship that was leaving the planet. Why did Jones do that? Like, yeah, they took Max, but that kind of helps him to not have Max around?
No, it doesn't help him. It takes his last body.
But he has the other, she destroyed the other clones? He can't clone Max, though.
No, he can't.
So why did he stow away on the ship? Just because he was mad? Like, what did he want to do? And he brought people with him to, like, help. So maybe we have to go back to that question. What was Jones's original plan? And then figure out their plan now based on how that obviously has not worked out for him. And not just bring a triad, but whoever this shapeshifter is, who, assuming that they were also brought by Jones, which I guess is maybe not the case, but let's say it is. Who is that person that appears to be much powerful than this other triad that Jones, for some reason, brought with him, assuming, as an ally?
Yeah.
And has also just been in a pod the whole time also? And I'm wondering, now that Bonnie and Clyde know who Michael is, how that affects, I mean, setting aside Tessica and the fourth alien.
Well, they want Michael to go rob the bank.
Well, they already have the crystal, they just don't know that. So they want him to get it, though. So
yes, they want him to be the person that robs the bank.
Here's my next question. So now they know who Michael is, but they know that Michael knows the clone as Max. But what do they think that relationship is? That's going to be their next question, kind of, isn't it? Like, you know that you're Jones's son, and you know the Jones clone. Like, he said that they don't get along, but, like...
That's, yeah.
You're going to leave it at that? Like, I don't think so. Clyde, specifically, is just not going to... Because he was questioning that the whole time, because he was like, you know Max. Like, why would you, like, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the plan is, but I'm usually not sure what the plan is, so... Let's talk about Liz for a minute. I do not understand the implications of what happened with the tissue turning back into tissue. Is that healing property stuff? Does this have medical applications? Is that what she's thinking of? Like, is that related to how Max heals people? I don't understand how this is different than, like, their alien biology. Like, I don't think it's like, oh, their alien tears have healing powers. I don't think it's that simple. So I'm not understanding really, I mean, what happened. Because I guess it was like, hey, you're a piece of alien skin who has decided to play dead. But then we're adding this other alien DNA to, like, make you feel like, oh, I'm not in danger. There's other alien DNA here. I'm okay.
I can wake up again. Yeah. Regenerating.
But shouldn't that mean that healing is an easier ability?
To do with healing dead Mr. Jones.
Maybe. I mean, because blood would have alien DNA in it. And you're putting that over the dead Jones body. But again, he didn't immediately wake up. I mean, the blood kind of seeped into his skin and then they cut away. Is it possible that if Jones does wake up, or we see a zombie Jones, that his eyes are blue? If Tessica or whoever has been like, if she reanimated him, zombied him, whatever, for whatever he did with the bank heist, if that was him on the film, the video. Is he going to have blue eyes? But again,
it's not
what did they
possessing.
need?
She actually becomes that shape, and there's another shape.
Well, but then you don't actually need Jones's body.
Yeah.
So I think they zombied Jones. For what purpose? I don't know. Why he had to be at the bank.
They need his help.
What could he have done that they couldn't have done themselves? Like, why add another person? Why have to kidnap? Well, not kidnap. Why have to steal the body of a person temporarily? For what? Because I would understand stealing his body for the purpose of bringing him home. But that's not all they're doing. Unless it was the shapeshifter at the bank, and this is the first time they've stolen Jones's body. So maybe they didn't take him, bring him back, take him again. Maybe it was the shapeshifter.
Tesca being...
And then now they have stolen the body. But then what was the thing with the blood? Although when the shapeshifter was shifting back and forth between people, Jones was not one of the faces. No. Which doesn't mean that they weren't Jones. But again, why?
See how many
again, I mean, just to not show your own face on the bank camera. Faces. But I mean, I guess it would make sense to not wanting to show your own face while you're robbing a bank, look like someone else. So shapeshift into Jones. But again, I mean, you're shapeshifting into a dead person. Although, a person who looks exactly like the sheriff. So I don't... If Jones wakes up with blue eyes, then Jones was previously taken, reanimated, sent to do the bank job, and then put back in Deep Sky. So maybe he won't have blue eyes. I am going to have some theories to ponder this week. I think we'll have a good discussion before next episode of whatever I can come up with for this. I don't, maybe I'll have nothing. Maybe it'll be a short discussion and I'll just be like, I don't know, let's watch the episode. Very intriguing, this show. All right. I'm looking forward to episode 5.